Hey guys, how's it going? Um, so, by reading the title, this is my kind of first part of June recap, talking about Strike 13, which is a new band I just joined, and what else? Oh, and then a March recap. Also trying to use the mic on the headphones. I don't know if that's going to make things any better. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so where are we at? Okay, so, sorry, Monday. Happy Monday, guys. Hopefully everybody had a decent Monday. So starting out on the 1st, we played Main Street again. Off-duty astronauts did. And it went well. Sounds kind of wonky, but we had people pretty much all night. It's kind of cool. And next night we played Billy's in Anoka. And that whole night kind of went wonky. Supposed to be outside on the patio. There were threats of rain. So we decided 45 minutes before we were going to start that we were going to move everything inside. Moved everything inside, set up kind of in the middle of the restaurant, which I found kind of weird. Kind of cutting off the flow of traffic. And then to no fault of our own, and I don't know how much they knew, one of their outlets was wired to the wrong voltage or whatever. So it blew one of our mains and Rob's head. So that was kind of a bummer. But, everybody kept their cool, and we went on with the show, and it actually turned out fairly well. They liked us. They've already asked us more dates so they can have us back. So I take that as an encouraging sign. And yeah, so that was that. And then Sunday, Sunday was the Roadrunner Records thing, which I did not go to, because trying to think. Okay, so Strike 13, the new punk cover band I'm in, they were supposed to practice that Saturday. So it was going to be play Main Street, go to bed, get up, go to practice Strike 13 at 11 to 2, go home, catch a nap, go to Anoka, blah, blah, blah. They decided not to practice, and I think we practiced that Sunday, but I don't remember exactly. Anyway, so it was either Sunday or Monday that we practiced. And this band is pretty much, I'm not going to say the opposite of Astronauts, but it's definitely more focused. Like, we just do punk covers and covers that other punk bands have done. Very fast, very loud, very aggressive. Which is a change of pace, yes, but it's cool. It's a good change of pace. I'm digging it. So then through the week, we get to Friday, and I don't know if I've told anyone officially about this. I've told some people at work, but Off-Duty Astronauts, as we have informed isn't the right word. We have within ourselves created an acoustic offshoot, which consists of myself and Rob, one of our guitarists, and Pam, our singer, who are going to do To start out, a couple of little acoustic shows at this brewery downtown, Finnegan's Brewery downtown. So we've been practicing for that. That Friday, I believe, we have one of those practices. And it's kind of silly in the sense that it's the same songs that Astronauts plays, just done acoustically, which is, again, cool, and I'm liking it. I mean, I like all the variety of stuff I get to do, and playing in different styles and different feels and different volume levels and all that stuff. It's very cool. It's getting the mind working again, because I think it's been in kind of the same pattern for a while. So it's good to shake it up every once in a while. So then that night, me and Rob went to the Richfield American Legion and caught a band called Sugar Buzz, another one of our cover band contemporaries. And I had become Facebook friends with their singer Beth. And so when I did my June preview video and mentioned that their show was on the list, she was like, "Oh yeah, please come see me, blah, blah, blah." So I was like, okay. So we went there and we're there for a couple sets, and they're good. Talked to Beth, because we got there, I think, middle of their second set, I think, or beginning of they were playing, I think it was their second set. So sitting there, watched them, and yeah, they're good. They've got chops. Beth has got a ton of energy. Really good voice. She's got good range. And yeah, I mean, they're impressive to watch. And then after the set got done, I went and talked to her and just sitting there chatting and, talking about, where we played, where they played, blah, 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 all the normal stuff. And they've been around a while. They've been around, I think she said 9 years, which is, obviously a lot longer than Astronauts have been around. And so, it makes sense that they're playing some of the places that they are and having some of the opportunities to do some of these city festivals and whatnot. And the fact that they're playing at Moondance, which I think is kind of cool. By this time, Rob had joined the conversation, of course, like, how'd you get into Moondance? And I think she was saying that she knew one of the organizers, or somebody in the band knew one of the organizers. And, through that connection, they got a slot. And it's like, okay, that's cool. That's good to know. I mean, thus just proving it's all who you know. And that's why, especially in the past year or so, it's kind of been I'm not going to say mission, because that sounds, whatever, but it's been my, I don't have another word. So I guess my mission, to go out and see as many bands as I can and talk to people and make those connections. Because it might help us in the end, you never know. So then, hung out with them and watched the rest of the night, and yeah, it was good. Went home, went to bed. Next day, got up, was feeling like crap. I was supposed to go to the Terminal that night, Saturday, for Inner Toil and Lucid Flight and one other band that was making their stage debut. What was his name? I forget. And so, but I had to cancel on that, which I feel kind of bad about, because I do really enjoy both Lucid Flight and Inner Toil. So that was kind of a bummer. We had Strike 13 practice the next day, that Sunday. And I was still feeling kind of, But gotta do it. Gotta do it, man. And okay, so that's the 10th. That was the Lindale Open Streets. So I didn't get to experience as much of that as I wanted to. I basically, if you know South of Minneapolis at all, I basically just left my apartment, went up to 36th, went down to Lindale, and pretty much walked all the way to Lake Street, essentially. So I saw, 6 blocks of it. But it was still really cool. They had the wrestling ring out again. Didn't see as many musical people, musicians, like out on the street, out on the corners and stuff. Maybe I was just too early for it or too late for it. I don't know. But yeah, definitely next year I will make sure that I can fully take in all of it, and because it's a really cool idea. It is a really cool idea. And I know the Minnehaha one is coming up sometime soon. I don't know if I'll dip into that, but so yeah, so didn't get to do as much as that. Went to practice, sweated like a freaking, because it's hot in that room, and it's a little room, and I mean we have some fans, but we're going all out, so it's good. It's I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. It's a good time, and I'm really having a lot of fun doing it. So then go through the week, and then this past Saturday, the 16th, ODA was supposed to play at Nison's, but due to circumstances beyond our control, which I don't know if I can talk about, because I don't know how much of it is public, if any of it. So we'll just say, due to circumstances beyond our control, that show was canceled. So I had a Saturday night free, which is awesome, because that means I could go to one of the shows that I was going to be bummed out because we had a show, which was at Lee's, which was the Culture of and Prophets of War dual CD release show. So that's where we are. So let's talk about that real quick. So 5 bands on the bill, and I thought I had, that's okay. So 5 bands on the bill. I had only seen one of them. The only band I'd seen before was the Culture of, and they're the ones I really wanted to see because they are amazing. And I have heard the name Prophets of War. One of the other bands was a band called Etheric. I'd heard that name before. I heard that they were really good. The other 2 bands, there's a band called Rife, which I heard through the grapevine somewhere that this was like their second show or their singer's second show or something like that, which was really impressive. They were tight. And then there was a band called Paralysis. I believe you pronounce that Paralysis. They were the first band up. They kind of blew me away. I mean, all the bands were good. This is one of those shows where like all the bands were just really good. All in the tech death kind of vein. Etheric was a little bit more thrashy, and yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to describe when you get into extreme metal because I was never a huge like extreme metal fan. I can tell the subtle differences sometimes, but a lot of it does kind of run together. but seeing it live, I mean, seeing it live, you can definitely tell some differences. These guys were good. You should check them out. All they have out right now was this 2-song demo. But they're on Facebook. They have a Bandcamp site, so I'd definitely go check them out. Here's all of their information. So definitely check them out. I also picked up, they had stickers. God is dead. Which, if they're doing it for effect, it's great effect. I mean, Slayer already kind of did that, but then I picked up some buttons. Yeah. So we have, the God is dead. We have just a plain logo in black and white. And then we have this logo in black and white. And they had t-shirts too, but I already knew I was going to get other t-shirts, so I tried to hold off. Because I have discovered if I stay away from the t-shirts, because that's usually the pricey bit, I can usually get a lot more stuff. Which, in the interest of helping out the bands, I mean, that's the ultimate thing, right? You hear the bands, you see the bands, you like the bands, you buy their stuff. Makes sense. Rife, I don't think had any merch. I would still check them out. I will tag them in this. They were really good too. And I think they shared a drummer with Etheric. I think they had the same drummer, and he is good. He's one to watch, definitely. So I got the Etheric CD. There we go. Serpents Beneath the Shrine, which I believe probably came out sometime last year, I would assume. So yeah, these guys are killer. I also picked up a button. Button. And the first of the t-shirts, let's see. There's that guy. With the cord, I don't know how much of that you can actually see, but so there's my Etheric. So it was Paralysis, Rife, Etheric, and then Portraits of War. They were the only band on the bill who had a lineup besides just guitar, bass, and drums. They did have a keyboard player, a female keyboard player who also did some vocals. And yeah, I mean, just really, really good, powerful stuff. So I picked up their CDs, Set Your Eyes to the Sky. That's a new one that they were. There you go. Cool. And stickers, of course. That's some pretty cool stickers. Just and then, of course, t-shirt. Okay, and finally, the band I was waiting for, which was the Culture Of. If you haven't heard me talk about the Culture Of before, I'm kind of surprised. And I told them this. I think one of the guitar players was also selling their merch. We kind of, it's a general thing. You go up to any band's merch table, usually a member of the band is there, and you start talking, and obviously they thank you for coming out. You thank them for being so great. You just start chatting, and I told them that, because after I bought all my stuff, they were like, you can have the first EP, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've had many copies of that. I think it's one of the best produced albums I've heard in a long time. And they were like, oh, thank you, that's very cool. So I was like, yeah, so I'm really looking forward to hearing the new one. And they did not disappoint. I mean, I've seen them, I believe the first time I saw them was at the first Terminally Ill Metal Fest, the one that was actually at the Terminal. I think that was the first time I saw them, and that's when I first got their first EP. And yeah, it is good. It is solid. I can't even describe it. You just have to listen to it. You just have to get it. But this is a new album, Ventriloquist. And yeah, they just put on a solid fucking show. We'd lost. Okay, so it was Saturday night, and it was about 90 degrees all day, in the 90s all day. And I was surprised, and there were a lot of other shows going on, including mainstream shows like Rock the Garden. And so I was surprised how packed that place was. I mean, not like packed, couldn't move, but it was an impressive turnout for a show. And obviously the more bodies you get in there, the more the temperature rises. And there was no mosh pits at all for the first like 3 bands, because I think everybody's just afraid to move because they didn't want to heat it up anymore. Finally, by the end, people were moving. Toward probably the middle of Etheric set, people started running. But yeah, I was kind of surprised. By the time Culture hit the stage, the crowd had thinned out a little bit, but not that much. It had thinned out by maybe, 20% or so. But still an impressive crowd, and they put on a hell of a set. If you're a fan of the technical death metal, really, really tight, just again, you can't describe it. And you have not seen the Culture of, what are you doing? Go on their site, look them up on Facebook, find them, get their albums, go see them live. I say that about all the bands. Obviously, you should go and see and support as much as you can. Obviously, but Culture of was the highlight of the night. Etheric and Paralysis were the 2 surprises for me of the night. Of the bands I didn't know. Etheric, I had heard the name for a long time and heard they were really good. Seen some like cell phone videos, which you can't really get a good idea of. But yeah, experiencing them live was awesome. Going up and talking to them afterwards to get some of their merch, and bro-hugging the singer when I told him how good the set was, and he was not just sweaty, he was drenched. He was absolutely drenched, because he had just put on, a very athletic, 35-minute set or whatever in about 100-degree heat, because it was easily, it had to have been pushing 100 in there. All night they were trying to get the air conditioning to kick on, and I don't think it ever did. It was insanely hot. But it was good, because sometimes you need that heat to kind of sweat things out and just kind of, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a good time. So I was bummed that we got canceled at Nison's and didn't get to play the show. But then on the other hand, I was kind of glad because then I got to go to this and talk to some people. I'm trying to expand out, trying to talk to more people. I talked to Greg Chilton and Bill Drumberg. It was kind of weird because both me and Bill were wearing Metal Soda shirts. So when standing next to each other, we kind of looked like salesmen or something. Talked to some of the guys in the band. Most of Omega Sequence was there. Talked to their drummer, Sean, for a little bit. And yeah. I mean, you just go out there, you fucking watch the shows, you talk to people, you buy the merch. I know I've been preaching this for a while, and I don't always do it myself, but you just got to do it. That's what you got to do. So yeah, so that was Saturday, and then had Strike 13 practice yesterday. In the torrential rain, and then so I believe tonight is the only night I'm off. So today's Monday, so tomorrow Tuesday have Strike 13 practice. Wednesday have Strike 13 practice because Timmy really wants to be prepared. That's whose band it is. It is for those who don't know. Tim Leonard, the guy who, the organizer of Music Unites Against Bullying, that whole thing. Remember we were talking about that? This is one of his bands. He has another band called Blank Space where he plays drums. In this one, he plays guitar and sings. So anyway, so Strike 13 practice Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm still planning. We'll see how I feel after Tuesday and Wednesday. Still planning to go to the Driftwood on Thursday. It's the it was supposed to be misunderstood, but they're having vehicle problems, and Lindsay posted a video about that, explaining everything and apologizing because it's car trouble. What are you going to do? But as far as I know, the rest of the show is going on. So it's Loyal Pride, Fix the Glitch, Semtex, the Monties, I think, maybe one more band. Still planning on that. Don't know if that's going to happen. Again, depending on how I feel Tuesday, Wednesday. Strike 13 practice again Friday after work. Debut show with them is on Saturday. So Saturday the 23rd at South St. Paul VFW. If you're not doing anything, come on by. I think we'll play from 8 to midnight, I think. And then practice on Sunday for the acoustic trio, and then our first acoustic trio gig is that Monday, the 25th. So this week might kill me. Hopefully not. I'll check in with you next week, probably see if I'm still freaking alive. But yeah, it's going to be a rough one, but we all get through it. Got to do what you got to do, man. So that's about all I got. As I always say, go out, support your local bands, even support your local cover bands, because we're still local bands too. So yeah, that's about it, and talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Take it easy. All that.